Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to do another Throwback Thursday. So if you haven't seen these videos from me before, I can link last month up above for you as well. But this was a series inspired by Kelly Gooch. She used to do this as well on her channel. She doesn't anymore, but it's a more condensed version of a Shop My Stash. I pick usually 5 products every single month to just sort of add to my everyday bin, and I can focus on them a little bit more because I already have a project pan that I have going on through the entire year of 2019, and so I feel a little more too overwhelmed with that project to do any other projects. But this is my way to shop my stash just a little bit more. I don't like to do a full shop my stash because I do like to have my whole collection at my disposal. I do try to do something where I have a bunch of eyeshadow palettes in my bin because that's the thing that I like to use a lot, and I love my eyeshadow palettes, and every time I use one of them, then I just switch it out for something else and I kind of keep rotating through them that way. But as far as the other products, I add in 5 that I try to use throughout the entire month, and it just gives me a chance to give them a little bit more attention than maybe they would have otherwise. And a lot of times you'll see things like single shadows in here because those definitely get lost in the shuffle. Maybe some lip colors that don't get as much attention because I have certain lip colors that I just always gravitate towards, just different things. And I try to just pick different things in my collection that I feel like I could get a lot of use out of. I don't typically put in some of the bolder lip colors or things that I'm only going to be able to use with specific looks because I feel like those don't get as much attention. But I'm not always great with these, and I definitely, if I feel like I didn't give enough attention to something, then I will roll it over into the next month, and you will see I'm going to roll over 2 of these things. So first I'm going to go through the products from last month, and I'll let you know how I did with all of those things, and then we will go ahead and talk about the products that I'm going to add in for the month of May. And as always, if there's anything that you want to see with these products, definitely let me know. But otherwise, it's mostly just sort of a behind the scenes type of thing that I try to use them because I do sometimes add in things that you can't get anymore or that were limited edition, things like that, because I do feel like I try not to use those on camera as much, and it makes it hard. I am wearing some things like on my eyes that you can't get anymore, one of which is a duo from my Project Pan, and then one is a single shadow from the Throwback Thursday last month. But it gives me a chance to maybe use those things a little bit more, and I try to remind myself that people don't mind as much about those type of things, but I just feel like if I'm wearing a lip color that you can't get anymore and people are like, what are you wearing? What are you wearing? And I'm like, oh, it's this shade, but you can't get it anymore. It just can be a little bit of a bummer. I know I would be a little bit, but anyway, I digress. So let's go ahead and talk about the products. So let's talk about the 2 that I am going to roll over, and they're my 2 single shadows. And part of it is that they are colorful shades, so they're not ones that I'm going to be able to add in every single look, but they are beautiful and I wanted to give them more attention. This one, I wore both of them, but just not enough. I feel like I could get a little bit more use out of them. It's hard. I'm so drawn to some of these single shadows that have this high shine or just a unique color. But then I don't always use them that much, honestly, just because they are particular shades and they are just sort of within my collection, and it's easier to just use a palette and be done with it. So that's just what happens. But this one is from the brand Ardency Inn, and this brand was hyped up for a bit, and they don't sell their products anymore at Sephora, so maybe that's partly why we don't hear about them as much anymore. I don't think that they sell this product anymore, so I don't really know what's going on with the brand. This is one of their Modster Manuka Honey Enriched Pigments. This one is in the shade Orchid. They had tons of really beautiful shades, and it really is like a just gorgeous pressed pigment. It's so stunning. Just a beautiful, beautiful color. And I mean, look at that. I love a shade like that. I really, really love those type of colors. And I don't know why I don't use it more because, wow, look at that, But the only excuse I have is that, again, it's a single shadow. It just sort of sits in my collection. And even though it was sitting in my bin over here, when I'm pulling for some of my palettes, I have to have an idea in my mind that I'm going to use this. I have to pull it out and say, okay, I'm going to create a look around this because it's not the kind of shade where it's a topper or, it just kind of can go with anything, like it's a champagne or, gold or silver or whatever. Like it's a specific color. So I have to think, okay, I'm going to use this in my look. And so then I need to kind of create the look around it, basically. I mean, that's what it comes down to. And sometimes I have to do that as well with, bolder lip colors and things like that. And so that's why it doesn't get used enough, but I'm going to roll it over so that I'm going to use it a little bit more. And then this one is a dual intensity shadow from NARS, which I don't think they sell these anymore. I don't really know why. I know that the shade was from a summer collection a couple years ago, something like that. It's in the shade Pool Shark. It's a beautiful baby blue shimmer shade. It's so pretty. That's actually what I put on my lid today. I really love these shadows. And again, I don't know why they don't sell this formula anymore, but it was a really cool formula. And I do love this shade, and it's just, again, I sort of have to have it in my mind that I'm going to use it because it just, I don't know, it's just a specific shade. I don't really know. Maybe not as much as this one. Here, I'll swatch this one for you as well, even though I have it on my eyes, but so, so pretty. And it's even more intense when you wet it, of course, which is what I did on my eyes. So you can even do it pretty lightly if you didn't wet it, if you wanted it to be softer. I don't know. It's so pretty though, and I need to use it more. And so I'm going to keep these two in for next month's Throwback Thursday because I want to use them more. But then the other three products that we're in, we'll go through them. I do feel like I use them enough and I can kind of put them back into my collection and add some other things in. So the first one is a highlighter. This is by Maybelline. This is probably the product that I use the most out of all of the Throwback Thursday products this month. This one is in the shade Molten Rose Gold, and it's a gorgeous, really intense highlighter. These highlighters from Maybelline are super, super intense. They have different shades for different skin tones. So if this one doesn't work for you, they have a lot of different shades. I actually used this on my cheeks today, and then I put right at the high points a new highlighter that I'm going to add in this month. So I'll show you that in a little bit. But I will say that this one is almost too dark for me when I'm not tan like I am now. I'm not tan at all. So it'll be a little bit better for me when I have a little bit more of a tan, but otherwise I can still make it work. But then I often will take a lighter type of shade of highlighter and just pop it right there just so that, I get a little bit more of a lifted effect. But it's still so gorgeous and intense, and it's really soft. Look at that. Even though it looks pretty dark, I don't know if you can, but it's still pretty brightening and I can get away with it. It's just that I'm right on the cusp there. And so when I get a little bit of a tan, it will be perfect. And even when I don't, like I said, I just kind of pop something right on the top of my cheekbone there and give myself that little bit of lift that I want. But gorgeous, gorgeous highlighters. I use this a lot this month. And then I had two lip colors in. So the first one is the ColourPop, all of the writing is off of this, but it's their Ultra Satin Lip in the shade Little Stitious. And I love the shade of this. It's this perfect cool tone pinky nude that I love, and it goes with a lot of looks that I do. Let's see here. I'll put this over here. So I love the shade, and I do really like this formula actually. It's a liquid lipstick that does dry down, but it still remains tacky and it doesn't feel super drying. It's not super matte. It will transfer. I do find that they're a little sticky. I don't love the formula, but it's pretty good, and it's definitely much more flattering and much more comfortable for me than a matte liquid lipstick. The other thing that I noticed with this, which is kind of weird and I don't love about it, and I remembered this about this liquid lipstick when I started using it again, I remembered it, that it sort of stains your lips, but not this color. It sort of stains it like a darker pink almost. So it's not horrible, but it's kind of once you take it off, then your lips are sort of stained pink. And it's not a big deal because it really only is an issue when you take it off. But if you wanted to change your lip color, it looks a little bit weird. So I don't love that about this, but it's not bad. I wouldn't necessarily be super eager to purchase more of these, but I'll use it. It's certainly nice. And it's a good option for a darker color if you want it to stay in place, but you want it to be a little bit more comfortable and not super matte. These are pretty good. The thing is with these ColourPop lippies, the liquid ones, they have a very short shelf life. So I definitely want to get more use out of this because these do not last very long. Compared to a lot of other liquid lipsticks that I've had for a long time, these just tend to separate and get old quicker. So just something to keep in mind as well. Don't go crazy and buy a million of these. So anyway, and then the other lipstick is an actual lipstick. This is by e.l.f. and another affordable one. This is one of their Beautifully Bare satin lipsticks. This one's in the shade Touch of Nude, and it's a really pretty, just kind of brownie nude, light brownie nude, and can go with pretty much anything. The formula is really nice. It's a super cheap lipstick. Honestly, it's maybe more than some of their basic stuff, but it's definitely under $10, but really great lipstick if you're looking for something more affordable. This is really nice, and I definitely used this a few times to like cool down a more peachy lipstick if I wanted to pair it with something that was a little more neutral or cool toned. This was a great way to do that. So I like this one a lot. It's really, really nice. So now for the products that I'm going to add in for the month of May. First, I'm gonna add in a blush, and you know, it can be hard because with my Project Pan items, I'm trying to use those as much as possible. So I don't wanna pick products that are competing with those, but I feel like if I pick something that is, even though it's in the same category, like I do have a blush in my Project Pan that I'm trying to use, which I'm wearing today, the Wet n Wild Pearlescent Pink blush. That one is sort of like a pinky, peachy with like gold shimmer in it, like sort of trying to be a NARS Orgasm type of thing, I think, but maybe a little more pink. But this one is the Too Faced Love Flush Blush in I Will Always Love You. I don't think that they have these anymore. I don't know what the deal is there, because they're really nice blushes, but this one is a little bit more of like an orangey peachy shade, if that makes sense. I still have the beautiful embossing on here. So yeah, you can see it's definitely a little more orangey. Really pretty color though, and it will be great for the spring and summer. That's it right there. So it's not like super, super different from my blush in my Project Pan, but it's different enough that I feel like I could use both and not like have them competing too much, hopefully. But I just feel like I haven't used this in a while, especially because I wasn't wearing it much like in the fall and winter. So I'm excited to use that some more. And then the highlighter that I was mentioning that I sort of popped like right at the top there to sort of brighten it up a little bit. This is the J-Cat Beauty You Glow Girl Baked Highlighter. This one is in the shade Crystal Sand, and these are really, really nice highlighters. They have a little bit of like a fragrance to them. Not fragrance, but like a makeup-y, like alcohol kind of scent to it. It's not like I smell it when it's on my skin. It's more just, you know, smelling the product. But it doesn't bother me, and it's a really pretty, gorgeous, gorgeous highlighter. They have tons of different shades too, and I just really like it. It's a really pretty, just sort of basic, light, sort of champagne-y shade. And it's a good one, like I said, to sort of lighten up because it's a brighter shade. And so the highlighter that I have in my Project Pan right now, I just switched it actually because I hit pan on the other one that I was using, but I put in Becca Champagne Pop. And so same thing with that one. It can maybe be a little bit on the darker side for me when I don't have that much of a tan. Not too dark where I can't use it, but it just doesn't like kind of lift like that. And so I can just pop something like this right on the tops, and that'll be a good way to use this one. And I can use this on its own too. It's so, so pretty. I love that. And it definitely could use some more attention. And then I wanted to add in a lipstick, and this one is a mini lipstick, and I think that's why I forget to use it, because it's just sort of tiny and it gets lost in my drawer. But I love this one. This is the Marc Jacobs lipstick in the shade Slow Burn. These lipsticks in general are so, so gorgeous. They're a splurge for sure, but I really like them. And this is such a great shade. Oh my gosh, I'm running out of room here. Okay. You know, it's a darker, like rosy nude shade. So pretty. Definitely a shade that I enjoy, and I just need to remember to use it. And I think that I will maybe more if it's not like kind of lost within my other lipsticks. But I love these Marc Jacobs lipsticks. I will say the only thing I don't like about them is the bullet. And the funny thing is the mini has like a normal bullet. The ones that you buy full size, they have sort of like a rounded bullet, and it makes it really hard to like get a crisp line. But anyway, I really love their lipsticks though. So, so pretty, and I really like the shade. All right, everyone, so that is it for this month's Throwback Thursday. Let me know in the comments below if you've tried any of these products, what your opinions are of them. Again, let me know if there's anything that you want to see with any of these products, but also let me know if you are going to shop your own stash this month and what products you want to focus on. I think it's good to, especially around this time of the Sephora sale. This can be the hard time for me to focus on things in my collection because I'm using some of the new things that I've gotten, but it's still really important to use everything that you have, old and new. If you like this video, please make sure and give it a big thumbs up. That really does help out my channel so much. I post videos every single Monday and Thursday, 8 p.m. Central Time. If you are not subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. I would love for you to stick around, and I really hope to see you next time. Bye.